Hi guys and welcome to the IGTSH YouTube channel tonight for a brand new Gran Turismo Sport stream. Tonight it will be the third round of the COTT, the Clash of the Teams, organized by IGTSH and GTHR, both Hungarian and Croatian Gran Turismo team. Tonight it will be the third of the four group stage rounds, after two first rounds that were in Catalunya, Barcelona 2 weeks ago with the Red Bull Junior, and then last week a good round on Goodwood with the Aston Martin Vantage Group 4. We're here for the round 3 at the notorious and really well-known Green Hell, the Nurburgring Nordschleife. 24 hours of Nurburgring, I guess. But yeah, really interesting combo tonight, really interesting track. Challenging too, and tonight once again I will be with Richie from IGTSH. Hi Richie, how are you?
Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to tonight's stream as well. So as my kind friend Illusion Roman said, it is indeed the third round. I will be joining him for today's stream as well. We will be streaming Lobby A as usual at the Green Hell. Just an interesting thing to note about this round as well. The lap time is incredibly long, so at the moment you see the out lap actually being completed. So in the meantime, why don't we just introduce the rounds?
Yep, exactly. So yeah, tonight no lap doing to present the round, just a picture for obvious reason, I guess. But yeah, once again, two races tonight with a 15-minute qualification right before that. Only in medium compound tires for both qualifying and sprint race. Sprint race will be a 2 laps long race on the Nurburgring Nordschleife. Once again in medium. And then race number 2 will be a 30 minutes, so 4 lap long race. And this time with some tire wear and fuel consumption that will need drivers to pit, to box at least once, and both mediums and soft compound tire will be authorized. It will be pretty interesting. Like I said, we are on the 24 hours of Nürburgring layout, but really important, the car will be the Audi TT Cup Group 4 from 2016. That will be used, so second time in a row a Group 4. That will be, remember, the only group that will come twice in the entire Clash of the Team championship, the entire COTT, because we'll have twice Group 4, once Group 3, I think, 2 times and 1 time Group 2 and Group X. So yeah, here are the settings for round number 2. We'll talk about the scoreboard now, obviously, our 7 teams. So hi everyone, first of all, good luck to Max Tier. Hi Ghost Rider, how are you? Hi Sensei Akosh also. And we'll need to talk about the scoreboard, like I said. Our Group A, that we already know with our 7 teams right now. So, after a good round from Sochi, from IGTSH, Independent GTS Hungary, the home team of this channel, just took back the first place of Group A with 681 points, ahead of their most biggest rivals and the 2 teams that can probably win this Group A. It will be Zefix Motorsport, the French team, in second place with 638 points. Then we got the Lithuanian team, the L team, in third position, that their highest position finish, I think, with 489 points. So really big performance from, remember, the Danish slash Lithuanian driver Chenso that impressed us last week. The brilliant racing and 2 brilliant races. Hi Laszlo, how are you? Then in fourth position, the other big surprise, Flat Out Racing Black, that was in big difficulty as the pre-qualification stage, is now in P4 and qualified for now provisionally for semi-final with 442 points. And then the biggest shock of this Group A, it's MTK Budapest Esports only on P5 with 416 points. And then for now, out of this championship, for Group A, we are Driven Gold with 276 points. That really need to increase to have better luck, for example, than last round. And then in 7th place, Tanso Racing Group TRJ with 174 points. So here are the standings for this Group A after the 2 first rounds of this group stage. And yeah, like we said, a lot of big surprise, I think, on this Group A. Mainly, I guess.
Yeah, so as you kindly mentioned as well, from L Team we had a massive performance from Chainsaw LTU, who brought his team back from actually 6th place, so he was in the elimination zone, as you saw actually indicated on this round of scoreboard this time, because points actually do start to matter as we are approaching round 3 of the championship. So yeah, because of Chainsaw's brilliant performance, L Team is now very, very clear of elimination in 3rd place. At the same time, we had unfortunate results from the We Are Driven Gold team, who unfortunately had a few incidents in the race, causing them to unfortunately drop back. So they will be looking to certainly correct that result into this round. Although we are unfortunately starting with one of their teammates missing for this round, so it will only be Ace Killers representing their team for now. In terms of the other driver lineups, we do seem to have the same sort of lineup, except for 2 different drivers for IGTSH and a swap seen in Tanso Racing Group as well. Other than that, everything should remain the same, so all drivers are pretty much familiar with each other and know exactly their strengths and weaknesses, and should give each other an even better challenge than last round.
And now we'll need to present our 13 and not 14, unfortunately, drivers for this round number 3. Like we said, in 7th position we have Tanso Racing Group TRJ with once again TRJ Gaz representing them with the Audi TT Cup number 16. So I think it's the 3rd round that is done. I think it did every round for now, Gaz.
Yeah, I do believe he participated for every single round.
But you have a brand new teammate with him that will be ADG, that he will be replacing Dudes after the 2 first rounds that he did. ADG that will replace him to be the 2nd Tanso racing driver for this round number 3 and probably for round number 4 next week. Then in 6th position, the unfortunate We Are Driven Gold, then that unfortunately will not have Tiana Philo for now, at least for race number 1. And they will only have one driver, that will be Ace Killers, that did all around for now with Audi number 94. So good luck to him. It will be a hard one for We Are Driven if they want to go back in the qualification zone for the semi-final. It will be hard, but not impossible. And then we have in P5 the MTK Budapest esports team with Pepe that will be back after being replaced by Hungarian teammate. Another Hungarian teammate for the Hungarian team, MTK Budapest. And yeah, I think a driver that just gone out. We'll talk about it right after. But it's a really tricky track, like we said. Really important to be the quickest in every sector, because it's a long track, and we only have one lap for qualification, so yeah, it's a hit or miss situation. And we'll see the standings at the end of qualifications that can be really surprising. Then for MTK, the 2nd driver, that will be Neo Levy, right there, with number 997, big number from Neo Levy, but the English/Hungarian driver, 2nd driver for MTK Budapest. Then in P4 on the standings we have Flat Out E-Racing Black, I think, FOE, that will have D. Russell, 2nd round in a row. He was already here at Goodwood, and he will have the another teammate, because I think he was here only at round 1, Tomset, I think.
Yeah, I think Tomset, I do believe Tomset missed round 2, but he was here on round 1.
Yeah, in fact, yeah, Tomset, I think, just been replaced by Russell at round 2. And now Tomset is back, but Russell is still replacing someone because Burnt Fry is not here tonight. I think it's that.
Yeah, I think so. Burnt Fry is being replaced for Tomset as well. I think they will be doing the whole championship hand in hand.
So yeah, for now they all three of them have 2 rounds participation. So yeah, once again, it will be really important to see what Tomset will be able to do, because Tomset like impressed us at Catalunya Barcelona with I think 2 top 5 finishes, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, really important to see him back. Then in 3rd position we'll have Lithuanian team, L team, with the Danish / Lithuanian Chainsaw that really impressed us last week with a win. I think Chainsaw won the last race at Goodwood. So yeah, it was a big one for him. And we'll see what he will be able to do tonight. For now, remember that we have 4 different winners in the first 4 races on the 2 first rounds. We'll talk about that just right after. His teammate right behind him, it's Tamosius with number 12. We'll see what he will be able to do tonight. Then in 2nd position of this Group A, we'll have Zephyx Motorsports with once again the American driver Sikkim with number 2, 3rd round in a row, like a lot of other drivers. But we'll have a new teammate. Gregu will not be here tonight, so the French driver will be replaced by a Italian driver, the only Italian in fact I think from Zephyx Motorsports. That will be Max Tier. So good luck to him. First time that I will see his driver for the French teams that I really know well, obviously. I'm French myself. And then the home team that are leading Group A, Independent GTS Hungary, IGTSH, with 2 new drivers. So for now 3 rounds, and at every time new drivers, so 6 drivers different for them, with Audi Ferry with number 708 on his Audi TT. Good luck to him. And then another really lover of this green hair, like you said, Richie, last week, Moji with number 8. So it will be important to see what they be able to do. And we're nearly at the end of this quali lap.
Yeah, so I do believe we are a little bit later than the other 2 rounds, other 2 lobbies, sorry. Group C seems to have finished their qualifying session with a very, very interesting lap of 8:41 from Stelios himself. I think for Group B, we had Oli in the house taking pole position with an 8:43. So that should be the benchmark for our group as well.
We'll see what will be, what will they do in this group. But yeah, pretty far away from first to last driver crossing the line. IGTSH driver are already on the big straight line, and it will be Audi Ferry that will do the first lap time. Then we got Moji, then Tomset and AD, both from the same team. Yeah, both. Tomset is from FOE and ID from Tanso. Then we got MTK Pepe from MTK Budapest, Ace Killers from We Are Driven. Then both Chenso and Neo Levy just overtook the other L team driver that will be 9th to score the lap, Tamosius. And then we've got D. Russell, TRJ Gaz, and the Zephyx driver. And last, Audi Ferry with his lap. It will be a 8:45.8. Will Moji beat this lap? I think not. Yeah, from a tenth only, a tenth and a half of this gigantic track. Moji will do a 8:45.9, just behind Audi Ferry. Tomset with number 69 from Flat Out E-Racing. What will he do? He will do a 8:51.8, and 80 for Tanso ahead of him. In 3rd position, 8:47.9. Then Pepe, just crashed! He just crashed, Pepe from MTK Budapest at the end of the lap. And yeah, just too fast, too much speed. It will be a 8:55. Big mistake at the end, and it will be really hard for MTK Budapest team. Then we'll got Ace Killers and Chainsaw now, 6th and 7th to cross the line. Ace Killers just behind Pepe in 7th position, 8:55.8, and Chainsaw with a 8:52.8 in 6th position. Neo Levy in 5th 8:51.9. Then a hard lap for Tamosius for Russell, 9:31. So it was, yeah, hard for him. TRJ Gaz in 9th position. And yeah, I think it's it. Just the Zephyx driver now with Sikkim and Max Tier. Will they be able to beat IGTSH? I think yes. And Sikkim will take pole. 8:44.5. Sikkim will take pole. Max Tier only in 12th position. Really interesting. But Sikkim will once again take pole position, the American driver. Ahead of both IGTSH in 3rd and 4th position. Audi Ferry 2nd, 3rd Moji. Then in 4th position, ADG from Tanso, big qualification for him. Tomset once again impressing in the Flat Racing car. Neo Levy from MTK Budapest will start in 6th position. Chenso from L Team in 7th, ahead of Pepe. Pretty lucky with his lap to be in 8th position. Ace Killers will be in 9th position for the only rear driven car. And Gaz for Tanso will be in. Okay, everyone is on the way, so yeah, no restart, and we're on the way for this first race of round 3 of Clash of the Team. Oh, and we got a big hit from Neo Levy with Moji. No damage, but yeah, it was a really hard braking zone for the MTK Budapest driver. Hey Paitsy, how are you? Hi Peter and Torok also. Hi everyone. For this first race, Sikkim and Audi Ferry will stay in the 2 first position. Tomset will get the 3rd position. Great start for him. 2 position gain. Moji will lose a position to Tomset in P4, and now it's Chenso that was starting in P7. Just gained 2 positions ahead of both AD and Chenso. Neo Levy, sorry. Neo Levy in 6th position ahead of Ace Killers. Also did a great start. For the Tanso driver, AD, it wasn't that great because he was starting 4th and now he's been attacked by a Max Tier for 8th position. Max Tier will be on the outside of the Tanso driver. It will not be able to pass him. Max Tier once again will try a little contact between the 2 drivers and Max Tier will go. Oh, yeah. It was, yeah. Limit. I'll guess Max Tier in 8th position. It's now Pepe that wants to come back on his 8th position to his starting great position. It will not be possible against the Italian drivers. AD now in 10th position, poor start from him. D. Russell just gained 2 positions ahead of Tamosius, and Gaz on the outside of Tamosius for 12th position. Both drivers side to side, and Gaz will pass Tamosius for 12th position. Meanwhile ahead, no in the top 7, no position change. And remember, only 2 laps because it's a gigantic track. 2 laps for this race. Hi David, how are you? Everything is doing alright in the chat right now. And yeah, brilliant start from Sikkim right now with the second off. Ooh, yeah, I thought he was out. Okay, it was a great start for him. And then yeah, big battle for 3rd position between Tomset, Moji and Chenso. 3 drivers for 1 position on the podium. And we're with Chenso. We will see, I think, start once again later if there is no other incident. And Tomset will be attacked by Moji, and Chenso will try to get also Tomset for P4, and Tomset will lose 2 positions. Oh, and Chenso is out. Chenso's out. Oh, it's Sikkim too. Sikkim's out. The leader is out, and IGTSH driver are back on track in P1 and P2. As Dixon's coming here. Best timing ever. Chenso is back now in P9. Sikkim in P5. What happened to the American driver? I think it's too late to see, but I think he just went out by himself, exactly like Chenso did. Poor luck from the American driver now in P5. Audi Ferry will take the lead ahead of Moji. Tomstead still behind Moji for Flat Out Racing, and Neo Levy will take P4 out of nowhere. Sikkim now in P5, trying to get back at Neo Levy, and behind it's Ace Killers that will be out. Oh, big crash from Ace Killers. Oh, and it's Pepe too. Oh yeah, it will be that for the entire race. Big moments for those drivers. Ace Killers now in P9, Pepe in P10. Tamosius is back in P11 ahead of both Russell from Flat Out Racing and Gaz from Tanso. But yeah, what a what a first few corners right there. And I think we will get back at the start because yeah, Neil Levy. Oh, it's really late. And then what happened for AD? I think he just got stuck. Oh yeah, he just been touched by Neil Levy on the outside. And that's how Ace Killers, Pepe, and drivers ahead managed to get ahead of AD. Yeah, pretty unfortunate, but now he's in P7 ahead of Max Tier. Yeah, busy few corners right now. And yeah, it's a pretty crazy race right now, Richie.
Yeah, we see a lot of drivers actually making very interesting mistakes. We did see 2 drivers drop out from the beginning in the person of Sikkim and Chainsaw, but unfortunately for other drivers they weren't quite lucky, but they were able to continue in a fairly reasonable position, as you see Sikkim driving in 5th place as well as Chainsaw in 6th, so about equal time loss there for both drivers. They didn't suffer any major damage, so they are lucky to keep fighting. But in the meantime, we actually do see the 2 IGTSH drivers running away with this a little bit, as we see the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th guys actually going side by side now with Neo Levy.
Oh, and Neo Levy will... Oh, it was close.
Yeah,
and
very interesting corner to overtake in for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty late move. Sikkim will try against Neo Levy. Oh, it's going to get pretty... how we can say it, but like, yeah, it was really tense between the 2 drivers, and Sikkim will take back P3. Now just IGTSH drivers that can do a big one for the championship lead. A 1-2, while Zephyx driver are 3rd and 8th. So yeah, it can be a really big improvement for IGTSH driver, but right now Sikkim is really quick here at the 24 hours of Nurburgring. Well, I say that. Big moments for Sikkim, but he's not out yet. Then Neil Levy now is in P4 and Topset back in P5. Well, Chainsaw that went off at the same corner than Sikkim. Just get back at Topset from Flat Out Racing. Chainsaw, like, yeah, he wasn't really quick on the Red Bull Junior, but like, yeah, for round 2 and 3 is really impressive. I think big improvement for the Danish/Lithuanian driver. So yeah, I think if he'll be able to keep that good work and good pace, he can put L Team in semi-final or maybe in final. We'll see about that. But yeah, for now we are only on round 3 out of 4 of the group stage, so we have time for now. And Chainsaw is putting a lot of pressure on the Tomset or the TT. We'll maybe try... Oh, it's a hard place to try overtake. The amount of pressure on Tomset's shoulders right now. Pretty impressive. And then we got in the backgrounds ADG from Tanso. First run for him. That try to... Yeah. Oh, and Chainsaw is through. Chainsaw in through. Now in P5. Mistake from Tom Setter we just saw. And Chainsaw is in P5. ADG is in P7, like we said for Tanso. So yeah, for now, great performance for him. Then Zephyx Max Tier in 8th position. Ace Killers back in 9. Now, oh, and Tomasius. I think Pepe went out once again. Yeah, he went out once again. Pepe went out once again. What happened for him? We missed it, unfortunately. But on the end of this straight line, he just did once again a mistake. And now Tamosius is in P10 ahead of Pepe, attacking Ace Killers for P9. And I think he will go through. Tamosius is now in P9 for L Team. Yeah, it will be good. Ahead of Ace Killers. Then Russell is ahead of Gaz. And first lap is done for the IGTSH drivers. Audi Ferry still ahead of Moji. Second is 3.2 seconds. So for now, IGTSH driver with Slipstream managed to get a little bit quicker than Sikkim. And Philo is now here, so he will be able to help Ace Killers for race number 2. But I think he will start from the back, I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately, because he doesn't have a qualifying time, he will have to start the race from the last place. It's the only way we can make it fair. You know, we can't assume their pace, unfortunately. So they will have to start from the back of the grid. But I mean, nevertheless, it's a great time to prove some, you know, to prove their worth, I guess.
We'll see what will they be able to do. And for now, Neil Levy just been attacked, not attacked, but Chenso now is just right behind Neil Levy. So yeah, for now, pretty interesting to see how Chenso evolves on this track. And trying to pass Neil Levy for P4. Head Moji still following Audi Ferry's teammates. And not a lot of battle except for this 4th position battle. And he'll try round the outside. For now, impossible. We'll need to wait. Chenso, the Nordschleife part that just start now. Exit the Nub GP. And now he'll try to take this 4th position. Tomset is now 2.9 behind. We'll see about the other drivers right after, because we'll have a big straight line and a big overtake moment. So probably a few tries for Chenso. Do you think that IGTSH driver will fight, or Audi Ferry and Moji will stay like that?
Personally, I think they are enjoying a fairly comfortable lead now. I mean, we still have almost the whole lap left. There is a 3-second gap, so they do have to be kind of careful. But I don't think that Moji will let Audi Ferry have the victory if he's able to take it from him. So I'm sure that the two guys will show us a really good, put on a really good show, I guess, if that is for them to make it to the end of the lap like this, because anything can happen.
Chenso will attack Neo Levy at the same time on the outside, where he unfortunately went out on last lap. This time he'll stay on track and he will take 4th position. Neo Levy just avoid the sound, but will lose the position. Chenso is now in P4, ahead of the MTK Budapest driver. Ahead, Sikkim and Moji are still 2.8 seconds apart. And Sikkim trying to push every limit that he can to come back at the Hungarian drivers from IGTSH. Then behind, Tamoju is still ahead of Ace Killers, following both driver team against We Are Driven, gold, obviously. And Pepe having a hard time here at Nurburgring, while TRJ Gars is now past Russell for P12. So yeah, it will be some important points for Tanso's drivers. And yeah, maybe if Gars overtake Pepe, they are pretty far away, unfortunately, the Tanso's driver. But yeah, MTK Budapest are really in the danger zone, I think, right now.
Yeah, so as we see, obviously Neo Levy holding a 5th position, which is actually one of their best results. Obviously I am just talking provisional results, because we, as I said before, we still have almost more than half the lap left. But Neo Levy in 5th place is looking very, very solid. I think that matches their result in previous round. I do believe that Neo Levy was also 5th in the previous round. But at the same time, obviously we have Pepe, unfortunately down at P11. So, and it's quite a way down the order, unfortunately. So he will have to pretty much do a flawless lap to correct the performance he has unfortunately had after some of his incidents that he had in this race already.
We'll see what will they be able to do. But yeah, they are pretty lucky to have Philo missing a race because it's some big points that will slip away from We Are Driven. So yeah, that will maybe help them to stay in P5. But right now, L Team seems maybe stronger than MTK Budapest Sports on this round 3. Chenso ahead of Neo Levy and Tomosius ahead of Pepe. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. While Flat Out Racing is pretty much right behind, with Tomset in 6th position, once again being not what we expected from him at the start of the championship. So yeah, still I think that they are the two biggest surprise, Tomset and Chenso, for this championship, considering where they were at pre-qualification stage or 1-1 for LTM.
Absolutely. I mean, maybe they were just sandbagging. Who knows? Who knows their strategy? But yeah, certainly Chainsaw.
Sikkim! Pretty scary moment for the American. Once again, he's out, and Chenso will take 3rd position, I think. Chenso through.
Sikkim has damage as well.
And Chenso will maybe take another podium tonight. It will be either.
Oh, and Sikkim's off again.
Oh, once again, yeah. And Neo Levy's through. What a hard moment for the American drivers from the French team. Lost 2 positions. Will Tomset be able to catch Slipstream for the big straight line? It's not. Oh, and it's out once again.
I think I have an assumption what's happening to Sikkim at the moment. I think Sikkim's wheel actually turned off, and I'm pretty sure he's actually driving with the controller at the moment. I see his braking and gas inputs are not normal, so I think he was actually driving with the controller for a while. I think he's now back on the wheel. Maybe his wheel got disconnected. And
Tomset now is in P5 for Flat Out Racing, and that's a big move for the IGTSH drivers that are now in 1-2 position, and Zefix drivers in 6th and 8th. And maybe that will be the turning point of this Group A for the win. And now ADG from Tansos will have Slipstream from Sikkim. Oh, and big off once again! And I think you may be right. I think Sikkim's wheel just had a big issue.
Yeah, I also think I was very curious on what was happening to him in the previous round as well, because we did see him go off a lot of times there as well. But now I think it's happening to him again. That is very unfortunate, because I was about to mention that Zefix Merkstier, his teammate, was actually doing a phenomenal job, because he actually made a mistake, I believe, on his qualifying lap, and he started the race in 2nd to last place in 12th position. And to be up in 7th place is incredible. But unfortunately now with Sikkim getting very unlucky with some technical difficulties.
And ahead, Moji will try on Audi Ferry. The drivers are side to side, and Moji will, I think, overtake Audi Ferry. Yeah, will stay in 1st position against his teammates, 4.5 seconds away from everyone. And I think Moji, by following Audi Ferry for the entire 2 laps, will take a race win here at 24 hours of... Oh no, it's fair.
No,
okay.
He will let Audi Ferry through, yeah.
Audi Ferry will win against Moji. 1-2 for the IGTSH driver. And once again, impressive podium position finish for Chenso in 3rd position. Neo Levy will take P4. Tomset from Flat Out, another brilliant top 5 finish. 80 from Tanso, big P6 for him. Max Tier will finish in P7. Tamojus in P8. Ace Killers in P9. Pepe will overtake Sikkim too. Sikkim will finish in P11. Pepe just in the top 10 finishers. Sikkim went from bad to worse, unfortunately for him, in P11. Gaz from Tanso will finish P12, and Russell, hard race for him, will finish in 13th position. And here is race number 1. Now, Audi Ferry in 1st position ahead of Moji and Chenso. Neo Levy and Tomset will complete top 5.
Well, what can I say? Very impressive. We did see most drivers actually making mistakes, even if it was just a slightly sliding off track or something like that. We saw many mistakes actually being made. I have to be honest, with IGTSH, Audi Ferry, and Myoji as well, they both pulled through really well. I think they did have a mostly flawless race. So I think that's absolutely deserved by the IGTSH pair, but also Chainsaw for his massive recovery despite actually being in the gravel trap on the first lap. To have the podium finish at the end is very incredible.
Really unfortunate. We'll see what will all drivers be able to classify at the end. But yeah, big improvement for IGTSH. I think it's maybe the turning points for them to win the Group A, even though there is 3 races left out of 8 on this group stage. But yeah, I think they maybe just did the right thing to win everything. Just need maybe to confirm on the second race here at 24 hours of Nurburgring, and if they, I think, put another performance of this caliber, they will be already on first place of this group before round 4. But yeah, it's a big move for them, for your teammates also. But yeah.
Yeah, luckily, obviously, with the unfortunate Sikkim in the previous round as well, he didn't quite make the into the points for some technical difficulties. That obviously helped IGTSH to take the lead in Group A in terms of points, and I think they have managed to extend it now. So yeah, looking very good for IGTSH team. In the meantime, very very unlucky for Zefix, but at the same time, I do believe that they are fairly safe as long as they do a decent performance. I mean, considering Sikkim's unlucky performance on this round as well, they still got some points. They were still not both last place, so I think there is some damage limitation there, and they are probably still quite safe of the elimination zone with this regardless. But it also means that by them performing worse, the other teams are actually able to get a lot more points on the board as well, because they are able to finish in front of them. So who knows how the overall championship will actually play out after this round, like this with this road.
I think the team that gained the most points is L Team, I think.
Oh yeah,
because it's the only team that saw both. Oh yeah, technically MTK Budapest also both drivers went through on Sikkim, but I think it's L Team that will gain the most points of this situation. We'll see what Sikkim will say. And yeah, we didn't say that yet, but yeah, we're racing on the night.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, we're going into the night now with the second race, just to simulate some sort of, you know, realistic time progression, I guess.
Oh.
So, just to simulate some real life time progression, we are actually going into the night. We did have the sunset in the previous race, and now we're actually going into a late night show. So, you know, visibility will be an issue.
We'll see about that. What will happen on the night. And now we have Tiana Filler for We Are Driven that will try to battle help this team. We need to remember that we'll also have the soft compound tires. So yeah, it's a lot of differences compared to race number 1. I think from all the championship, it will be the only time that we'll race on the night, considering the other tracks that we'll see.
Yeah, we had pre-qualification obviously in the night and the rain, but I do think that we don't have any more night races other than this one.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so going back to the scoreboard for the few minutes of break, because we didn't see for now the Group B and C, etc. But for now, the live standings after round 2 for Group B is the GTHR blue team that is clearly dominating Group B with 722 points. So yeah, nearly 90 points ahead of Total Race Motorsport, with a all in the house that is dominating his group, but unfortunately can't do everything by himself, and teammates that he had poor luck because disconnection from Catalonia, for example. So yeah, I think they are safe too. We are Driven Blue looking better than their teammates on the gold and red team, right now in third position. Yeah, didn't want to do race 2 Max Tier. You could technically, but yeah, it's unlucky. What happened to Sikkim, do you know or not?
I am not entirely sure. I will assume that it's a technical difficulty, and we will talk about it after the race, but it seems to be they will both be missing the second race because of technical problems. So that means, unfortunately, because we did, in case you were interested in the qualifying order for race 2, I can tell you about that as well.
I'll just finish with Group C. Like, it will not be fair to them, but yeah, Road Racing League, WRL is in fourth position of Group B 4-8, just ahead of Hellenic Night Racing, and for now, unfortunately, it's CRT that is in the elimination zone, and Flat Out Racing Purple that seems to struggle a bit in this Group B. There's 118 points right now, and in Group C, two teams that are dominating right now. KSZR Slovakian team with 766 points, the biggest amount of points after the two first round, and the second position also the GTGC from Greece with 671 points. GTR Vatska Red with 444 points too, in third position, so for now seems to be in a good shape, head of Driver's Room, last to be qualified. And then the biggest surprise, biggest shock, Vesprem Futsal Sports only in last position of this Group C with 252 points, really struggling after those two first rounds. I think the grid position will be, Audi Ferries that will start in pole position. So yeah, for the first time it will not be Sikkim.
Yeah, so for the first time we will actually have a different team than Zefix actually starting in pole position. With the unfortunate result of Mextier, he would have been, Sikkim and Mextier would have actually started only 9th and 10th.
Oh! So
it would have been a very big, interesting, just a very big difference in the previous performance that they had, as Sikkim would have been 9th, Mextier 10th. So now, Audi Ferry and Moji actually taking the front row of the grid by... I am unable to tell you the gap on this one, unfortunately. I think it's about 13 seconds or so. And in second row of the grid actually is Tanso Racing Group, starting with ADG in third and TRG Gaz in fourth. So they have a very good shot at doing very good here. And as you mentioned before, with the unfortunate results of MTK as well, they are now in the third row of the grid. So very, very impressive results in qualifying.
Okay, then fourth row it will be, L team. Yeah, in the fifth row it will be Flat Out Erasing.
Yeah, Flat Out Erasing, and then followed by We Are Driven Gold, and then in case Zefix comes back, they will be next. No. But until then,
it looks like they will not be once again here. Max here that cheers good luck to everyone, but they will not come back for the second race. They will came back for round number 4, and they will say goodbye to the first position of Group A. That I think will be too much for them. Big loss for the on this round 3 for the FX Motorsports, that will now fight to stay in this top 5, because maybe it will be with a bad last round. It can be difficult, So just before this last race of the day, is night technically, it will be IGTSH Audi Ferries that will take the first pole position. That will not be from Sikkim. So yeah, after a 5-pole streak from the American driver, it will be Audi Ferry ahead of Moji for the other IGTSH driver. Then ADG, impressive third position ahead of TRJ Gaz, his teammate from Tansos Racing. Neil Levy will be in P5 once again ahead of his teammate. This time it's once again Pepe like in round 1. Chenso will start in P7 ahead of Tamojus for L Team. Tomset in P9 ahead of D. Russell. Ace Killers in P11 and TNR Philo, TNR and not R, Philo in P12. Let's hope everything is okay. And now we are underway for this race number 2 here at Nurburgring for 4 laps of this 24 hours layout. And we are good, I think. Everyone through, no restart, and we're underway for this race number 2 of round 3. Be careful, ADG will try on Moji. Oh, it was really late. And yeah, ADG will fortunately for him take a 1 second penalty. Gaz will stay in 4th. Pepe is ahead of his teammate Neil Levy, and Chenso will try on the Hungarian/British driver to take P6. Now trying to go around Pepe. It will not be able for now to take P5 ahead of the second MTK Budapest Sports drivers. Then Tomset is now in P8 ahead of Tiana Philo. It's an impressive start, 3 position gained. Russell in P10. Oh, and Tamojus and Ace Killers both will overtake Russell. Oh, that was late. And Ace Killers will take P10. Yeah, for now it's a hard start on the night right now.
Yeah, not many position changes, but more or less some towards the beginning, halfway down the track. We saw everyone actually get away fairly cleanly. We did see some collision between 2nd and 3rd, but other than that, everyone was nice and safe. We are looking at a half-an-hour race, so it's good to see everyone being very responsible. We are expecting 4 laps, and the drivers do need to fit the medium and the soft tire. Soft tire actually making an appearance for the first time in the championship with this race.
And by talking those tires, for now both IGTSH drivers started on soft tires, so yeah, I'll need to say it to you because obviously it's in French. So
there's some racing in 4th and 5th place.
Oh yeah, effectively.
Right side.
And Pepe just ahead of Gaz right now. 4th position for him. Gaz in 5th, and like I was saying, unfortunately I will need to tell you everything about the tires because it's in French, so you'll not understand a thing. But yeah, for now, Audi Ferry and Moji are on soft tires. ADG is in mediums like Pepe, Gaz, and I think is someone else in soft than IGTSH drivers? No, nobody is in soft tires except the leaders from independent GTS Hungary. So yeah, pretty interesting decision. Russell unfortunately went out at the start of this Nordschleife and has a little bit of damage. So yeah.
He did have some bumper and front left tire damage.
I think. Gaz is out once again, and now in P10 just before this.
Fico and Tomset going side by side into a very, very risky part of the track. I'm wondering how this is going to play out. It's very dangerous here.
Yeah, outside, and Philo's out! Philo's out, be careful. Ace Killers, his teammate, will be just behind him, and Neil Levy is back in 7th position, Tomset in 6th position, ADG is back in 3rd position ahead of Pepe. Oh no, it was Gas, so yeah, Pepe was hovering in 4th.
Only losing about 2 or 3 seconds with that. He was very lucky and no damage on the car as well.
Pretty lucky, in fact. Right, and then once again a hard braking zone that can be a real trap for drivers. Gaz now is under pressure by Tamosius from L Team, and yeah, unfortunately for Russell and Gaz that were on the back of race 1, yeah, they will be once again, but Tamosius is with them, the Lithuanian driver that really tries his hardest to come back at top 10 position finish. Gaz It's a little wide. Yeah, it's a hard track and not everyone is able to be safe. And oh, Pepe just been overtook by Chenso. Chenso is in P4, maybe another podium for Chenso.
Yeah, looking very good. Everyone's on the medium tires except for IGTSH obviously, so we are expecting them to actually pull away slightly on their first stint. I am not entirely sure how many laps, because as I said, we are expecting 4 laps. I'm not sure if they're going to do 3-1 or 2-2. I'm sure that they will keep the softs on for more than 1 lap, so at least 2 laps. So yeah, it's all about basically pulling out as much as possible for the IGTSH guys now. We do see them slipstreaming with each other, so they are able to actually get the toe, push each other, maybe a bit of bump drafting, get away from the other guys. But another interesting...
Will everyone stop on lap 2 for you?
I'm not actually too sure. Personally, I have done a little bit of testing. For me, I think the stuff is actually enough to last 3 laps. But anything, you know, anything can happen. We've seen some very interesting strategies actually working out. But an interesting thing is that all the drivers will actually need to save a bit of fuel during the race. I think over the 4-lap duration, I think the drivers are going to be short by about 5 or 10% if they will be going on max revs during the race. So I think they will be looking at picking up about 5 or 10 liters at the pit stop, or just saving that. So that will also be a crucial part in their strategies.
We'll see what they will decide and also save. We'll see. Meanwhile, Chenso's already trying to get back at ADG for 3rd position, and behind Pepe just took a 2.2 second gap. So yeah, it's brutal for him. Tomset is trying to defend his 6th position ahead of Neil Levy and Philo, that will get back at those 2 drivers. Eskilers, unfortunately for him, is pretty far away now, and Tamojus finally get past Gaz for P10. Was trying hard for a long time. Russell in P12 still. So yeah, for now it's still pretty close for a lot of drivers. And yeah, it's P6 battle, and Tomset also coming back at Pepe. So Pepe that took a brilliant start and starting maybe to fade away a little bit. So you need to maybe be careful.
At the same time, Chainsaw is closing up on ADG. Now the gap is only down to 4 tenths, so I think that the 2 drivers will be looking at some battling as well between there. So as the race evolves, we do see some gaps closing, some gaps disappearing, some gaps appearing, you know. In the end, it is a teamed grid, so even if we have 2 teammates, the one who might not be quite as fast around the track can still act as a sort of protection, as Pepe is actually holding back Tomset now for Neo Levy, his teammate, in 7th place. So this is looking very good. I mean, if Pepe does a good enough job battling here, Neo Levy might have the chance at getting 6th place here.
Yeah, Neo Levy is... and Pepe's out! Oh, in a big way. I didn't see...
Tomset just slightly braked a bit too late and hit Pepe, unfortunately, there.
Okay, but Tomset now is trying to get past, and Neil Levy will try to get at Tomset. Both MTK drivers. Oh, and Tomset's out now, and I think Pepe's too. No, Pepe's still on the track. Tomset now is in P8, and he will not have slipstream from Philo. Philo maybe will try to overtake. And they're 3 wide. I think they try to get 3 wide. Pepe giving the minimum space to Philo, and Philo will take both MTK Budapest drivers in the span of 1 straight. Pepe will have stripped him back. Try on the outside, like Philo did. Tomset trying to get back at him, and Eskilers nearly have slipped on him. Philo's just been overtook by Pepe once again. Maybe he'll try in those last corner. Big braking zone, obviously, as Mudgy and Audi Ferry will finish lap 1, and Mudgy is ahead of Audi Ferry now.
Chainsaw might be looking down the inside of ADG here.
Oh, and Philo's on Philo will box.
Yep.
Ace
Chainsaw
kills
now
2.
making the move down inside of ADG.
And now in the third position. A great job. As Neo Levy will take his teammate Pepe for 5th position. I think it was not a big attack. I think it was a clear pass, I'll say. And so easy move for him, as ADG was trying to slow down for his penalty. Neo Levy now in 5th position, trying to take his teammate Pepe in his wheel. Tomset trying to get back at them in 7th position, and a huge gap behind them with TRJ Gav in 8th position, Russell in 9th, and I think, yeah, both were driven drivers box, but also Tamojus from L Team, and Tamojus tried to take less fuel, so now he's closing up to Ace Killers that I think refueled a lot compared to Philo and Tamojus.
Now this also means now that most drivers are actually going for the two laps on the medium, so it might actually be faster to do 2-2.
For now, yeah, 3 drivers on the 1-3. Maybe IGTSH driver will try a 3-1 and not a 2-2. 2-2-2-2.
Yeah, maybe a 2-2-2-2. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there is anything rushing them at the moment for the tire change, and I would personally prioritize having slightly fresher rubber at this point with medium. So I think in this situation, IGTSH would be better off with a 2-2.
We'll see. But for now, Tamojus is coming back at Ace Killers, that is fading away from his teammate TNR Philo. Russell, oh yeah, and he will get back at Russell, so maybe he'll do some time. Because yeah, we have a big tire difference between mediums and soft, I think, still.
Yeah.
Philo will to attack Russell.
Ooh, Russell actually going very slowly into that corner. So
oh, and Philo, I think, on the outside, he got him. Yeah, he got him. So yeah, it was a pretty clean move from Philo. Now he's in P9.
Don't forget that Philo actually started dead last on the grid, so the fact that he was up to 5th place by the end of lap 1, we're expecting some very interesting results here, I think.
Oh, wrong keyboard. I was trying to type C. Sorry. Yeah, Philo's now in P9, head of Russell, and Tamojus and Ace Killers still 1.9 seconds away. And for now, Pepe is following Neo Levy, so maybe Pepe will take a good grip by following Neo Levy. That seems to be faster.
Yeah, the two guys. I was actually Pepe going a bit off the track. At the back straight of the previous lap, I was very surprised when they were fighting against TNR Philo, the 2 MTK drivers. I was very surprised that they didn't choose that bump draft on the straight line instead of actually just overtaking, because I think one of the drivers actually pulled out next to the other one, so they didn't choose to work as a team on that straight line. But now we do see them closing up on each other, so they should be keeping fairly close as well. I think that both of the guys have been on the same pace for the whole race, the previous qualifying as well.
Yeah, but so, I guess that by bump drafting, they maybe were most vulnerable to Philo, that could take them both in one straight, because they couldn't answer them, you know.
Ooh, Pepe.
Oh, and Pepe's out! Yeah, Pepe's out! We saw it. It was really quick, and Tomset's back at him now. Battle for P6 between the MTK Budapest drivers and the flat-out e-racing driver. Very close now, 3/10 away. And yeah, big mistake from him. And behind 20-second gap between Tomset and Gaz.
At the same time, Chainsaw is actually managing to pull out a decent lead from ADG, so he is now in the safe zone. Also, ADG is still carrying that penalty, so I think it's about time he needs to kind of consider letting that one go, as I think he has been carrying it for over 1 lap now.
And yeah, 8.3 seconds ahead of Neo Levy, so good pace from him. didn't have time to see him on last race. So yeah, it's pretty interesting and maybe a good improvement for the Tensors lineup that can maybe try to
three-way fight.
Yeah, maybe AG will help them qualify for semi-final. It will be an insane recovery, I think, if they're able to do it.
Ooh, there's some contact at the back with Ace Killers and Russell and Timosius actually fighting it out between each other. There's been quite a few position changes.
Again, Timosius ahead of Ace Killers now. Russell in the other strategy, struggling a bit on the green hill, and Ace Killers in overtake by Timosius, and Timosius will let by Ace Killers. So I think, yeah, like you said, probably some contact. Ace Killers back in P10, and Timosius will be overtook by Russell. So yeah, big downgrade situation for the Ultimate driver. Will need to recover and to use the soft tires at their best. Now we'll wait to see what the IGTSH driver will be able to do, while Chenso is 5.3 seconds behind. And yeah, for now the gap between Chenso and IGTSH is bigger than the quite opposite, I guess. Is few. No, I don't think it's the right word, but yeah, the gap between AD and Neil Levy is actually a lot bigger than.
Oh, actually, actually took Audi Ferry, so I didn't actually see the driver swap there.
Yeah, at the end of first lap, in fact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so only one lap ago on the straight line, and I think that maybe not, because Moji nearly 610, so still out slipstream. But yeah, like I said, 5.3 seconds between Audi Ferry and Chenso, and the gap between AG and MTK drivers is 8.8. So yeah, for now I think we really got like 4 drivers for 3 position. If they make any mistake, Pepe still being attacked by Tomset. And Philo over to Gaz. I think Gaz maybe went out because it's a 7.5 second gap now. Gaz in P9. And Tamosius got back this P11 position ahead of Russell, but he lost 4 seconds. So that's huge.
Yeah, and in the meantime, while the racing actually has calmed down a little bit, as we see Tom said dropping back from Pepe as well, there shouldn't be any move going into one another. I would just like to actually take the opportunity, because I know that there is a lot of people who are actually Audi Ferry's fans currently watching. I would just like to give a little shout out, as it is the IGTSH channel, to Audi Ferry, who is actually over 50 years old. And Moji is one of our top drivers actually in the team. He has got some very, very good FIA points as well under his belt. Who is actually keeping up with Moji, Audi Ferry is. So he not too bad for a 50-plus-year-old man, I think. Doing so well in second place, keeping up with the top guys. So very, very good job. He loves this track, absolutely. He loves the car, loves the track, so it is definitely a combination for him. So yeah, very, very impressive showing from him. I believe he's 52 years old. So
really important point. As IGTSH driver will do a 3-1 with 3 laps on soft, and ADG will do a 3-1 but with 3 laps on medium tires. So yeah, it will be the only drivers to do that. While Chenso is back now in P4. Will Philo take P5? It will be a 2-car overtake, because he was between the MTK drivers, and yeah, he will take a position. Philo is in P5 and overtook back the 2 MTK Budapest drivers that are now in P6 and P7. Neil Levy is still ahead of Pepe, and yeah, Ace Killers with his undercut 2 will try to get this slipstream from Pepe. Pepe that was faster to box, I say. Because he's got back a lot at his teammates near Levy. Eskilers now in P8, Tamojus in P9, and yeah, Tomset's big downgrade for him now in P10. I think he wasn't saving that much of fuel, like you said, and yeah, he lost at least 2 positions, I think. Yeah. 2 positions, 2 Eskilers and Tamojus lost. And yeah, Eskilers now has no penalty, but yeah, ADG need to.
Yeah, I meant to tag Philo.
Okay.
Sorry.
Tiana Phil was the other wheel-driven driver. We'll see what Philo will do, but now he's in P5, 12 seconds ahead of Neo Levy. Oh, I didn't saw that. Yeah, it's a huge gap between the 2 drivers. So maybe lap 4 will be really important for MTK drivers and wheel-driven drivers.
Yeah, we now see the actual strategies unfolding. Chainsaw is the leader, well, not the leader, but regarding the people who have the soft, fresh soft tires on at the moment. Behind them is Neo Levy. Obviously, Philo is between them now. It will be interesting to see if Neo Levy will catch Philo. We did see them battle in the previous lap, so whoever comes out in front at the end of this lap, I think, should be pretty much ahead on track as well because of road pace. And ADG still holding the solid 3rd place as well, but now, although he is 15 seconds behind, we also see a 15-second gap between Audi Ferry and ADG. So that should be the gap that IGTSH drivers were able to pull out on the soft tire compared to the medium. So now that Chainsaw is on the soft and ADG is on the medium, there is potential that he can close in that 14-second gap and maybe even get another podium for himself.
We'll see. ADG will, for now, stay in 3rd position. Philo in P5, still with a 10th of penalty, and Gaz also. Yeah, Gaz also boxed. I think Duracell didn't box for now.
So he's actually doing a 3-lap on the medium. Ooh, just cutting the corner there a little bit.
It was hard for him, but yeah, Gaz now is in P12. Maybe not for long. Tom said trying to in the big out. It's Tamojus out. Engine damaged. What happened for the L-Team driver? Yeah, big. Oh yeah. Too fast. Oof. Frontal hit.
Very unlucky.
And yeah, he'll just get back right now in P11. So yeah, pretty hard. In P11, ahead of Gaz, maybe not for long. And did he? Oh yeah, box lap 1. I thought he didn't box. But yeah, pretty interesting. Gaz is actually on medium tire once again. So 2 stints on medium for Gaz. Maybe it's
Did he start on the medium?
Yeah, I think he started on medium. So yeah, it's interesting because soft are really quicker. So yeah, it's a interesting move.
But it's not just about the soft being quicker. It's also the fact that both tires are actually mandatory. So the soft isn't optional. So he really has to be careful there with his tire compounds that he picks.
Oh, and Gas is out. Fortunately, we'll see. Maybe ADG and I was thinking about that. Is ADG trying to do a no stop?
Oh, I mean, no stop is once again not in the rules. But he has to go for the soft.
I think he should. Yeah, Tonsors are well aware of the rules. Like a lot of, like nearly every team. So, and hope every team, and not nearly. But yeah, for now, we'll see what ADG will do. 10 seconds ahead of Chainsaw. Just pushing a lot to try to take a maximum gap for the from the IGTSH driver back. Try to attack them on last lap. 28.7 seconds. Separating Moji and Chenso.
In the meantime, Chainsaw actually gained about 4 seconds since the last time we mentioned them, so I think that was about half a lap ago on ADG. So I think he will be in striking distance about this part next lap. So I think it will be a very close contention for the final step of the podium.
We'll see.
That is if everyone makes the, if everyone actually makes it there without any mistakes.
Meanwhile, Tamojo is trying to get back at his mistake, but yeah, he lost. Yeah, I think he lost like 20. Yeah, he lost 20 seconds. So yeah, huge out, sorry, for him. So yeah, pretty unfortunate. He just, I think, a few corners ago, took back P10 away from the Russell from Flat Out Racing. But yeah, he's pretty far away from his teammates. We'll see what he will be able to do. Not a lot of fights right now. Pretty calm before the. We hope it will come before the storm of last lap. And yeah, it will be soon. The stop from the IGTSH drivers, Moji and Audi Ferry.
Yeah. So were they in the end the only team to go for the 3-1?
In soft, yeah, but for ADG, it will be like technically they aren't the only drivers that will do 3 laps on soft, because we are driven drivers both did the strategy but reversed. As for Tamojus, unfortunate for him, not work that much. Audi Ferry will maybe try to stay behind Moji, trying to have fun.
No, I think actually Audi Ferry wanted to bump draft Moji, but then Moji pulled out of the way, encouraging Audi Ferry to actually overtake him.
We'll see. Last break. Where do you think Chenso will go up?
I mean, once again, since the last time we talked, and it was 2 minutes ago, he's gained another 2 seconds since then. So, I think, I think there will be I do believe he will be third place, Chainsaw. If there's no mistakes made by both drivers, I think Chainsaw is able to get third place. He's down to 5 seconds. I think by the when they get to the north part of the track, I think they will be in striking distance for sure.
ADG is boxing, so yeah, 3 laps on medium and 1 lap on soft. So the only one that will do 1 lap on soft, and maybe not. Moji's out. And Chenso will. Yeah, Chenso is ahead of Audi Ferry. Chenso's ahead in P2, but with a lot less fuel than Audi Ferry. Yeah, maybe a mistake from the Hungarian drivers. A lot more fuel than Chenso and Moji.
I didn't actually see that. I forgot about Chainsaw actually being able to undercut the IGTSH drivers. I was thinking a podium. But
yeah,
now
but now will Chenso have enough fuel?
I think it will be very tight. I mean, I think the drivers are looking at saving about, about 10% fuel over the whole race. So I think Chainsaw will have to be very careful with his fuel wear. But I mean, he's on about 25%, so he might just be able to make it. I think Moji actually didn't refuel. He pitted with 30 liters left.
31 and 16 to Audi Ferry that refueled, but maybe maybe not too much because he was consuming more. But yeah, and meanwhile ADG will go out in 7th position, really far away from Ace Killers, but will lose 3 positions that he'll try to cut back. Philo's ahead, and both MTK's drivers ahead too. So yeah, we'll see what ADG will be able to gain back. But yeah, maybe not a P4 because no, impossible. 12 seconds and yeah. So yeah, it's really far away. 16 seconds away from the P4 that he got. Maybe not the best strategy, the 3 mediums, 1 soft strategy. I think ADG will. Oh, what? Sorry.
So he will have the soft tire ADG, and it's brand new as well. He doesn't have to worry about fuel saving as well. I think so. He might be on to catching the 2 MTK guys who are on 1 tires, and also Philo, although he's quite a far ahead. I think about 12 seconds. I do believe that is out of striking distance. So I think the best result ADG is looking here is 5th place.
Yeah, 12.5 seconds is really too much. And it's from Neil Levin, not from ADG. Meanwhile, yeah, Chenso just got slipstream. Chenso will take slipstream behind of Moji. Oh, this last lap. And we're...
So an exciting battle for the lead. And I had no idea that Chainsaw was it completely flew past my mind that IGTSH is still yet to pit and they will be in striking distance. I fully didn't expect them to actually be able to come out in an overlap.
Yeah.
So this will be a very exciting finish.
We'll see what they will be able to do, but yeah, maybe Chenso will be the first drivers to complete 2 win in the Group A. Because remember, for now we got 5 different winners. The first race on Catalunya Barcelona round 1 was won by Zefix Sikkim. Then the second race, still on the Red Bull X Junior on the Spain Grand Prix track, was won by IG. Oh, Chenso's out! Chenso's out! I think he will stay ahead of Audi Ferry, yes, but maybe the chances of him to win this second race will be dead. Audi Ferry is now on the back of Chenso.
4.5 second mistake there by Chainsaw. That's very unfortunate.
Maybe it will be the possibility of the race win for Moji. Audi Ferry will not need to care about the fuel, so no saving. So it gets worse. It gets really. Oh, and once again, big moment. It's a scary part right now for Chenso. A lot of pressure, trying to split up and won this race. Split up the IGTSH drivers and win the race. 3.9 seconds, and yeah, it's really quicker because it's not much fuel right now.
Yeah, on the other hand, Tom said actually almost half a tank, but Tomosius is actually looking very low on fuel, so I think he really has to be careful. He is the teammate of Chainsaw, so Chainsaw might be in second place, still fighting for the lead even after that mistake, but Tomosius still has to do well. I mean, it's a team championship, you know. Chainsaw might be on for the victory, but Tomosius is in 10th place and he's looking very dangerous for on fuel. Yeah. He has a comfortable 28-second gap, so potentially he could be saving here, but with that much fuel and Tom set in front of him with over almost half a tank, I don't think that Tomosius will be able to challenge the car ahead.
And yeah, we didn't see that, but yeah, Tom set and Gaz did a second stop.
Pepe and AD is going side by side.
Oh yeah, and AD through?
Yeah, AD just overtook Pepe side by side, very clean.
On the outside, in fact. And then finishes on the inside, pretty insane move from ADG. Now in P6 for the Tanso driver, sorry. Pepe will get back at him on the outside now. Pretty close battle right now. So we need to check the gap between Moji and Chainsaw. Like I was saying, for now we got 5 different race winners. I think it was Adam Wolf that won. No, maybe the other IGTSH driver from round 1 that won.
Race 2. Yeah.
Race 2. No, it was Adam Wolf.
Yes.
So Adam Wolf won race 2. Then we got It was not the. See, yeah, it was IGTSH. Soiti. Soiti.
He took a victory as well, so that's 1 victory per round so far, then, right? And
then
looking at 2.
Then we got the Chenso, and then IGTSH Audi Ferry. So yeah, for now, 3 different teams won at least 1 race, but won 3 races, and 5 different race winners. Maybe 6 with Moji, but being attacked by Chenso.
Yeah,
It's really low in fuel right now.
Chainsaw, yeah, I think Chainsaw is looking at some difficulties with the fuel as well. Mosh doesn't have that much more, but you can see it's a comfortable amount.
Oh no, the Tamasius will not. Impossible. Impossible for Tamasius for me
to make it on fuel. Do you think?
Like he just lost to save. He just lost 12 seconds in the span of 2 minutes.
Trying to save the fuel. Yeah.
And now ADG. Hey, and ADG will not take the 5th position, I think. Lost too much time on Pepe. And Neil Levy is now clearly ahead. We need to get back on this last. And Chainsaw with a good exit will have slipstream. 2 tenths needed.
Yeah, he's just outside the slip.
And no, it's not good. 8 tenths for now. He don't have slipstream. He will not have slipstream. He will not have slipstream. And I think Moji will win. But yeah, it was so close. Chainsaws need 1 more tenth to gain slipstream. Because he got a better exit. And I think it will be too late for him. And we'll have 6 different race winners in 6 races. But 4 of them are IGTSH drivers.
Chainsaws out of fuel. Chainsaws out of fuel.
I think maybe Audifa will be out, but Moji will take race victory on the second race of round 3. IGTSH Moji will win.
So he's losing P2.
And yeah, checkered flag for Moji. Audi Ferry will take 2nd position. And Philo the podium.
Philo might have the podium.
Oh, it will be on the line. On the line, Philo will take 3rd position. First podium for the We Are Driven Gold. Finally on race number 6. Philo will take 3rd position away from Chainsaw P4. Neo Levy will take 5th position. ADG 6th position. Pepe 8th. And yeah, Tamojus is now he will finish last position. He's already out of fuel before the big straight line. Pepe will finish in 7th position, Ace Killers in 8th, and We Are Driven Gold maybe trying to... I think now they are in the safe zone. Ace Killers P8, Tom Set in P9. And yeah, We Are Driven drivers just put a big amount of pressure on MTK's drivers because maybe now MTK Budapest drivers are not safe anymore. It will be really close for them. Tom Set will take P9 for the FOE team. Gaz will take the last position of this top 10 and Russell will overtake Tamosius. What a horrible hand for the L team. Both 2nd and 3rd position team on the standings of Group A will drop some massive points here. Gaz will take 10th position. What a run for Tensos. Big amount of points. Will it be able to at least get back nearly, get back close to P5, at least P6, because they were pretty far away. Maybe. Meanwhile, the other FA driver, Russell, will take P11 right there. And Tamojus out of gas and will take 12th position. 6 different race winners in 6 races. Pretty insane.
Pretty insane if you ask me. And I would just like to mention TNR Philo came from the dead last position of the grid. He did miss race 1. That's also, I think, a sort of mental influence on other drivers, especially it is to me to jump in, halfway into something, knowing that I had to miss the first race. But to come in 3rd place after starting literally last on the grid is a huge achievement, and it just makes me wonder what sort of achievement Philo would have been able to achieve for We Are Driven Gold if he was here for the first round, because he's done an incredible job at catching up into 3rd place from all the way down in last. Very good recovery. And as you mentioned as well, MTK not so good on points before, but now they actually managed to get 5 and 7, so that is the best result for the team. But with TNR Philo getting third place, it's a huge recovery for
And
Rear
there's Philo
Driven
just
Force.
behind, so yeah. And thank you, D4TC Sim Racing. Thank you a lot. And yeah, Tamosh's P12, and yeah, pretty interesting. We'll talk about that right after. But Moji will win race number 2 ahead of Audi Ferry and Philo, Chenso and Neo Levy will take top 5 finish position. And yeah, here is round 3 down now. 1 round left on this group stage, and yet we'll have to present it because it will be in my homeland. In fact, it will be on. How do you say it?
How do I say it, or how is it supposed
try.
to be said? Oh, okay. Circuit de la Sarthe.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. So yeah, it will be either you want to call them, but yeah, it will be at Le Mans on le circuit de la Sarthe, obviously. Easy. No, I'm mocking Richie because your names can be tricky, let's say, to learn. But yeah, it will be on Le Mans for this last round of group stage, round 4 out of 4, and we'll know every teams and drivers that are qualified for semi-final stage. And obviously the car will be the Ford GT3, technically, from 2011.
Yeah, so the LM, I believe, what is it called? I think it's something like a
try to
test car. It's the test car. So the GT3
yeah, right
Ford
there.
GT test car.
Ford GT LM Spec 2 test car in the Group 3 category. So it will be the only Group 3. Like we said, we already had our little N, like we'll say, our N300, the Toyota SFR racing concept on Tokyo Expressway for the pre-quali. Then on round 1 we get the Group X, the only Group X that was the
Red Bull Junior.
Yeah, thank you. Then the only group that we had twice, the Group 4, we just finished it with the Aston Martin Vantage Group 4 last week on the Goodwood, and then the Audi TT Cup tonight on the 24 hours of Nurburgring, Nordschleife. And yeah, now it will be the only Group 3. We'll talk about the other car later, but yeah, it will be a really powerful car, a really big engine, but really hard to handle, not that easy to take on this huge track that is Le Mans, compared to Nordschleife, not that much, but still huge for the common race track. So yeah, it will be pretty interesting. How do you think they will handle this?
With the Ford GT, now the interesting thing for this championship is that there is no BOP setting, so all the cars are actually running on 100 and 100 power and weight ratio, which makes the Ford GT an absolute monster. I think the car is about 600 horsepower or so, with only about 1,100 kilos, so basically you step on the gas and it just wants to go straight. Not only is it actually very fast on the straight line, but it's actually incredibly thirsty. So there will be a lot of fuel being consumed. I do believe we actually had to put the fuel consumption down to 1x for it to actually not be a two-stop on the 30-minute race. So it's a very interesting car for sure to actually drive around that track, and also to manage in terms of fuel as well. And I do think that some guys will have some horses to catch with that car, because it is very hard to control on high acceleration zones especially.
Before the stream will end, we'll just need to talk about this last thing. It's scoreboard once again, because we'll need to talk about the what we learned of this round. I'll let you try to search for all the other group results, because we didn't have time to check them on the break during race 1 and between race 1 and race number 2. So yeah, meanwhile you check for that. Let's just say that IGTSH take a huge step forward to their chase of Group A win. I guess Group A champion. You can call it as you much, but I think they took a huge step to win this Group A before last round that will be of the Group stage that will be next week, still on Tuesday. And then big point lost by Zefix Motorsports by this absence in race number 2 tonight. I think they will lose this second position, but how far will they drop? That will be the question, because we don't really know right now. Then another big issue it will be for Lithuanian team, because brilliant podium for Chenso in race 1, but then big drop, massive drops for both of the L team drivers on race number 2. So I think they will stay approximately in third position, but we'll see. It will be really close. Just behind them it will be Flat Out Racing that were fourth, and I think they will maybe drop a little bit, at least lose points against the chasing teams that are MTK Budapest and We Are Driven, maybe even Tenso's drivers. So it will be hard for them, because it was hard for Russell on this Green Hill track, obviously. Then for MTK Budapest Sports, obviously, like we said earlier with Richie, still some good points tonight, but the teams that are just around them scored a little bit more. So in fact, maybe not, because on round 1 Neolevi was fourth. So maybe Neolevi will try to maintain this team in the safe zone, thanks to his good performance since 2 rounds. And then We Are Driven. We are pretty unfortunate for Philo to being absent in race number 1, because amazing work for them in race number 2 with their first podium, for Philo in fact in the 3rd position, and then for Tanso, they did their best round, I think, for now, and they will for me still be in last position, but not by that much, not by 100 points. So Tanso maybe will be in the fight next round to try and be in the safe zone to qualify for semi-final, as we were seeing them at the start of the round as maybe already eliminate. So it's really interesting to see Tanso doing this amazing recovery to be in the fight, because I think they're in the fight right now.
Yeah, I've actually done some calculations in the meantime, and with Zefix actually DNFing both of the last races, or the second races, my apologies. There was about 150, well, as you can see, 149 points between L Team and Zefix. Now, with Chainsaw's 4th place finish, I do believe he did get 100 points for that 4th place finish in the second race, and he did a mega job on the 1st place as well to come on the podium. In the meantime, obviously, Zefix, unfortunately, very unlucky for Sikkim, as well as for Mexter. So if you think about it, Tomosius unfortunately didn't score too many points, coming in last place, but it is 100 points for L Team, so that is at least 100 points plus for the L Team. So still, Zefix is in the lead, but then it's only a matter of, was Chainsaw's 3rd place finish in the first race enough to close that extra 50 points gap so that they can come on the 2nd place. So I think it was it will be very close if L Team takes 2nd place from Zefix. I think Zefix is safely in 3rd place with this still. And
but I think it will be super close between all of the 6 teams, because the Zefix lose point, L Team a little bit too, Flat Out lose point, MTK 1 points, We Are Driven also, and Tanso also. So everyone will be in block. And it will be so close for last round.
There is a 140 points gap between VR Driven Gold and MTK Budapest. We did see Philo come in a good place, and the Ace Killers actually did a phenomenal job as well. I think he finished 8th or something. But MTK did finish 5th and 7th, so that is still a better result in 2nd race. Unfortunately, I don't quite remember the 1st race results, but for the 2nd race, I think Budapest actually managed to pull a bit of a lead.
For MTK.
Okay, so in that case, I do think that the first race was fairly even for MTK, and the second race, I do think that they got slightly more points than We Are Driven Gold. So I would estimate that the 100 plus point gap will still remain between the two teams. I am not sure if this performance was enough for We Are Driven to get out of the elimination zone, especially because Tianafilo did DNF the first race as well. So I think the point gap will stay. So I think the elimination zone will not change much in Group A. Do you agree with that?
Can you just say once again the last sentence? Just.
Yeah. So I don't think that the elimination zone teams will actually change because
Okay.
the fact because of the fact that We Are Driven did DNF the first race and they roughly performed equal to MTK. So I think that will remain the same. But the
gap will be
second, the second, third, fourth, and fifth place teams are actually going to be very, very close to each other, I think. And the independent GTS Hungary, obviously, I think with this 1-2 finish, I think on both races they did pull a bit of a point lead on that.
We'll see. We'll see the classification. Just before the end, can you just say the podium of the 4 other races? Just the podium.
Unfortunately, I don't have that at the moment because race C I couldn't quite follow. There was some difficulties with the stream. I do think it was streamed, but I was unable to find it.
Okay.
For the first race of Group B, we had Oli in the house come in 3rd place, Potter McPod in 2nd place. That's very good.
For what team?
It's a very, very solid finish for We Are Driven Blue.
Okay.
So they are very safe at the moment, as you see on the scoreboard now in 3rd place. In Group B, so I think that just extends their lead. And it was GTHR Antonio taking the win for Group B Race 1, which is just even more points for GTHR Blue, extending their points, but maybe even more with the 90-point lead now. That's probably over 100 now, but it all depends on the second race, of course.
So yeah, we're maybe able to say that for now, 6 teams are maybe already qualified. In Group A, IGTSH. In Group B, GTHR Blue, TRM, and We Are Driven Blue. And on Group C, KSLR and GTCG.
Yeah, and I think there is a comfortable lead with GTHR Red as well. To We Are Driven Red. Obviously, it's very difficult to say.
That's why.
With the knowledge, but I think there is 130 points gap between GTGC and GTHRs in Group C. So I think those 2 teams should be into the final. Or the semi-final, I should say. Sorry, and I agree with what you're saying. I think Group C is actually the tightest in terms of gaps.
Maybe Group A now, just because we you were saying not between the global team, but between the last teams and the eliminate team.
So for every group, the gap between the leader or the teams, and so the gap in the elimination zone. So as you see, it's 120 points in A, it's only 100 in B, and it's about 60 for C. So we are certainly able to see some more position swaps there. So it's definitely not decided. But for now, I think the group leaders, the 3, even if they do a bad result in Le Mans, I think they will be safely into the semi-final. As I do have to mention to the viewers, no teams actually have to win the group stage. It is an advantage because in the end, the 2 top teams that come behind each other will not have to face each other in the semi-final, because it will be broken down into 2 more lobbies, as there is only 14 teams qualifying for the semi-final. So that is 2 full lobbies instead of 3, as we are doing now. So there is no real benefit to actually win this, but there is a very big calm, a stone off their shoulders, I assume. For these teams to be in a leading position now to safely go into the semi-final.
And we'll see what will be the qualified team. Next week it will be the last round of group stage, round 4 out of 4 on the Circuit de la Sarthe with the 4GT GT3. For the last one, it will be really interesting. So see you in the independent GTS Hungary channel, YouTube channel, once again on Gran Turismo Sport next week, and bye bye.